Good evening. Good evening, everybody. Do I need to do this?
Yeah.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. My name is Eliassa Hussin. I have a question for you. Aren't we all, as human beings, tend to generalize and stereotype the other, the unknown? Here's what happened with me. Can you hear me? Yeah. Here's what happened with me. I was working. Sorry. So, Nijmegen? This one.
This one?
Yeah.
Nijmegen.
Okay. So, here's what happened with me. I was working in an international organization, and it is a multinational based organization. I had an image in my head that all Western folks, all Westerner people, they are bluntly blonde, and they are blue eyes. So I started working, and by dealing with my colleagues on a daily basis, I started to find out that the image that I have in my head is not completely correct. Actually, at some points, it was completely the opposite. Most of my colleagues, they were brownish and greenish eyes. So, now, I think the same is happening to the Syrian women in the new host communities. Most of the Syrian women in the host communities, they are stereotyped and labeled with one image. So tonight, I'm going to shed some lights on some aspects of the Syrian woman life. So, the Syrian woman, she is very much like the landscape of Syria, which is a mixture of modern and the tradition. This is what the BBC reports in 2010 said. What does that mean if we want to explain it? It means that the Syrian women enjoy a level of freedom, but their lives are influenced by tradition and religion. However, this influence is varied according to the social class of the woman, her education, and the background of her. If she is coming from rural, they drive their own cars. They take their own. They take public transportations by their own. They work, they study, and they go out to restaurants by their own to enjoy life. Which, I'm saying this because lots of people are asking me, do you really have restaurants? Do you go out? Do you? Yes, actually. So, these are some photos. Talking about studying, as Mu'taz mentioned, and I'm gonna repeat it again, that the literacy percentage of among Syrian females in 2011, I think, it was 77.7%. These are some photos of some students in the universities. Women, they go to the same classes as men, and they got the same education system in universities also. This lady here, her name is Noor Shakir. She's an example of the modern Syrian woman. She was graduated from Syria, from Damascus University in 2007, and she is now postdoctoral researcher in Copenhagen IT University. Now, the second point that I want to mention is the clothing, the dress code. Of course, the dress code varies. Yeah, we're right. Okay, the dress code also varies between Syrian women, according to social class, also the environment, if it is urban or rural, and the cult or the small economy, the small community that they are coming from. However, all of them, they tend to look smart in the British sense of the word. It means that nothing unshapy, everything is steady in their clothes, everything is iron, they wear high heels, they coordinate, bags with it, handbags, and if they are covered, they also coordinated the hijab, the head, the scarf, with their clothes. If not, they go to hairdressers and they take care of their beauties and their hair. In this slide, we have some celebrities here, but these are normal ladies. This one particularly, this is a shelter on the borders of Turkey. These are refugees, however, their clothes are really look nice. Next, please. Now, marriage. So, well, that also covered it, and it was really nice. But I just want to mention a couple of things. That at 17 years old, this is the legal age for girls to get married in Syria. 17. Yeah. This is the legal one. Okay? Most of the marriages are traditional, have traditional understanding, as Martaz also explained it. The funny thing also about marriage, that after the lady got married in Syria, the pressure of having kids is compulsory. Everybody started asking, why are you not pregnant? Why are you not pregnant? But the wedding night for Syrian women is one of the most important nights in her lives. Most of the costs of the wedding are spent on this. I'm going to mention some important notes, and hopefully you can read it. In 1963, there was a law for putting workforce participation for women and women. It was put in effect in 1967, that was 63, yeah. 67, we had this organization, it was formed, and it is the General Union of Syrian Women. It tends to take care of the welfare and education of women. This is important. In 1989, the Syrian government passed a law for requiring factories and public institutions to provide on-site child care for all women. In 1948, the women in Syria, they had their right to vote and to nominate themselves for the parliament. One of the first lady to nominate herself, it was in 1953. Her name is Syria Al-Hafiz. She was the first lady to nominate herself for the parliament election. She didn't win. But in 2015, the proportion of women held seats in the parliament, it was 12%. Talking about Syria, she was one of the pioneer women who had really great impact on the contemporary history of Syria. This lady here, she was born in 1910, and she's the first female, her name is Mari Al-Ajami, and she's the first female writer in Syria and in the Arab world, and she's the founder of the first women magazine in Damascus. Next, please. This is a singer. Her name is Asmahan. This is the artistic name. The real name is Amal Al-Atrash. She is from the Druze cult in Syria and the south of Syria, but she was living in Egypt. Next. And this lady, Nazik Sheikh Fadli, she was the director of 7 Red Crescent centers in Syria in 1948 during the Palestinian War. This is the first Miss Syria in 1952. Yeah. And this lady, her name is Colette Khouri. She's a Syrian novelist and poet, and she's the first ambassador a little bit of information about Syrian women. And thank you for listening.